Hi ladies, it's Angela here. Thank you so much for watching and following me. If you haven't already, make sure you give me a thumbs up on my YouTube channel, Angela Simpson Functional Medicine, a place where women can learn how to start to understand the root causes of their hormone imbalances, especially if you're a female over 40 or 50 and you're struggling with symptoms like brain fog, memory loss, weight gain, mood concerns, all around metabolic issues, sleep issues, really just overall quality of life, not feeling like you want it to be where it is at this point. And it's super common for women over the age of 40 to start to notice a decline in their health and symptoms to start to come up. And very commonly, women, one of the first symptoms that they notice is weight gain. And very commonly, it shows up in the belly. I call it belly fat, or even comes around into the back. We call it belly fat or back fat. Soft tissue and accumulation of fat that really has never been there before. Some women also notice it accumulating around in their hips and the upper buttock area. That's also common, but I think most common is right around the abdomen. And again, many women haven't changed anything with their lifestyle and they're wondering why this is happening. For many women, they feel like it's impacting their quality of life, their energy levels, their ability to get up and go and do exercise and things they used to enjoy. It's impacting their wallet. They're having to go buy new clothes because the waistline is continuing to expand. The buttons won't do up on the clothes. And really, it also, overall, for many women, it impacts our self-esteem to have this weight gain coming on in the midline. It just doesn't make us feel good. And we want to be thinking, why is this happening? Number one, what is the root cause of it for me as a female over 40 or 50? And what can I do about it? What are some tangible strategies I can put in place that are actually going to work and they're going to start working right away and I can start to see the difference? The one thing about belly fat is it's measurable. It's easy to see if it's there or not there. One of the easiest ways for us to track changes is to do just a waist measurement. And if you want to measure your waist relative to your hips, you're going to get an even more accurate measurement. The waist should definitely be smaller than the hips. And very commonly for women, they're starting to notice almost the opposite. Like the waist is starting to get even close to or even broader than the hips. So again, just some easy ways for you to check on things to see if you're moving towards your metabolic goals. Now, what can we do to understand why it's there in the first place? Especially if you haven't changed anything with your lifestyle, that you feel like you are living a fairly healthy lifestyle. So many women that I work with, they say, I've tried everything. I've tried caloric restriction, crazy diets, long fasts, fasting for the particular time in my cycle that I should be if you're still a cycling female, adjusting the sweets, avoiding those, decreasing or eliminating alcohol, trying to be aware of the more pro-inflammatory foods and reducing them, things like gluten, dairy, red meat. Again, packaged processed foods are a huge one. And for many women, this doesn't budge the scale. And if anything, the scale either stays the same or it actually starts to go up continuously despite putting strategies in place. Does this sound familiar? Have you also tried exercising more frequently or at a more vigorous pace? Have you really upped the intensity, tried doing consistent high intensity HIIT workouts or something similar to that, really heavy weight training? Have you been told that this is the way to go as a female over 40 to help you optimize your metabolic health and just your body metrics and how you look and feel? So again, many women have tried this as well, and they've noticed no matter what they try, it doesn't work. Now, what I want to tell you is each woman is unique as to why they are gaining weight around the waistline as they get older. We may think that it's the same for all of us because we're all gaining weight, or many of us are gaining weight, especially around the waistline as we get into our 40s, 50s, and beyond. But we all actually have our own unique reason. And why is that? We all have our own different genetics, and we also respond very differently based on this genetic predisposition to how we go about trying to improve on our metabolic status as we get older. It's no secret that our metabolism does naturally start to slow as we age. As females, as our sex hormone levels start to lower more and more quickly, our metabolism slows and slows. So some women think that the solution to this is to bring in HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. And for some women, they actually do bring this in and they notice that they do have some weight loss, especially around the waistline. But I also know many women that bring this in and they actually have, again, no change regardless of bringing in the HRT. And actually, on the contrary, I also work with a lot of women that notice that they feel they have even more weight gain, more fluid retention, they feel more puffy, and they just don't actually feel as well being on the HRT. So that's not the solution for them. So what is the solution? What I see when I work with women that have tried all these different strategies, and they've often come to me feeling like they're at the end of the line, like they've tried everything, is very commonly what I will do is I will suggest that we run genetic lab testing along with some customized functional labs to really understand what's happening with the metabolic health. An example is a client I'm working with now who, again, had tried all the things, all those things that I had mentioned already. She'd tried them all, and she'd tried them several different times. She said the only way she lost weight was to go into severe caloric restriction for several months. And she said this just was not healthy for her. It was not the way to go. It was not sustainable. And as soon as she started to eat her regular way again, just with regular calorie intake, she gained all the weight back. So she knew this was not the solution. So what we did was we ran her genetic panel as a starting point. And it was very interesting to see that she was exercising the way that she had been told by trainers and dietitians and people that she had worked with, but there had been no lab testing run. And she was doing very heavy weight training because she'd been told at her age that she's going to respond better by increasing her muscle mass, which will help her to improve her metabolism and reduce her fat mass if she did this. So she started weight training with heavy weights 4 to 5 days a week. And she said she noticed that she felt stronger, but she didn't notice any change to her body composition. Her waistline stayed the same, and she felt very discouraged. She said, again, she'd also tried some different things with this in combination with the weight training with her diet. And again, nothing moved the scale. But her genetics showed that she didn't respond well to that heavy weight training for her metabolic dial. She actually responded much better to endurance style training. And further to that, she also was not resilient from a genetic perspective to stress. And she said that she did feel like every time she went to the gym and worked really hard lifting those heavy weights, it put a lot of stress on her body. And so these two things were working against her. So we started to figure out how to adjust her exercise and have her ease off on the heavy weights. She was still doing some resistance training, but she was doing it a couple times a week. She wasn't going into that really heavy weight training zone all of the time. She had a variety of different exercises, and she was rotating through some different things week by week instead of doing the same thing repetitively. And she was out doing just, again, from a cardio perspective, she was going for walks. She started at 20 minutes a day. She went up to 30, she got up to 40, 45. And that seemed to be, as she did that 5, 6, even some weeks when she was feeling like she had the time and energy 7 days a week, she did start to notice some changes to her waistline. That combined with a customized dietary strategy, again, which was based on her genetics, which showed that she is someone who needed specific types of exercise to mobilize her fat stores and a specific type of diet too. So she actually was better off fasting in the middle of the day. So she needed to eat a healthy meal in the morning. She needed to have a healthy meal at night. But during the day, in the middle of her day, which actually she said worked out quite well for her because that was the busiest time of her day where she didn't really have time to make a healthy meal because she's so busy with work and other things, that she actually fasted in the middle portion of her day. And this is what, again, started to yield results, along with her eating the right types of foods. So she also had genetics for what's called methylation, which means she needed more support around her liver health. So she was bringing in low starch vegetables, a lot more dark leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables than she was before. And she was also eating more protein. She was actually eating too many simple carbohydrates, and that also was really working against her. So this combination of the dietary, the specific fasting strategy, and her exercise strategy started to yield results for her. And she was so pleased because she didn't feel like she was starving herself. She was still getting in enough calories during the day. She didn't feel so exhausted from the type of exercise that she was doing. She felt like she was gaining energy versus just feeling more and more burnt out from stressing and pushing her body with those heavy weights. And again, the weight started to fall off, especially around the waistline, quite quickly. Within a week and a half, she already started to notice a reduction in her waistline. We have to be very specific. We have to understand who are we, what are our genetics, what's going to work best for us is not necessarily going to work best for your friend who tried this and it worked, or your other friend who tried this and it worked. We really need to be looking at customized strategies for helping us with weight loss, because many women have some of the same symptoms. Gain of weight around the belly and around the back, that's a symptom of a problem with your metabolism. And that problem with your metabolism has probably been a buildup and a lead up to where you are now for many years. And for many women, the tipping point comes when the hormone levels start to lower, the female sex hormones, because that naturally slows down our metabolic dial. So we're really going to be revealing what's actually there behind the curtains as the hormones start to lower. And we have to understand what's behind the curtains and start to work on that. If we just try and put a Band-Aid on the symptom and the problem by using things things like GLP-1s or HRT, which is super, super common. Women are trying to lose weight through taking different pills and that type of thing, injections. Okay, so sometimes that can be helpful. There is definitely a time and a place for specific types of dosing for either of those two things that I mentioned, but it certainly does not negate having to go through and understand what works for your metabolic diet from a genetic and lifestyle perspective. We really can't bypass that with some quick fix strategy. And the downside too with those other two strategies is there very often is side effects, both short term, so some women feel them right away, but often they are more down the track, and women are on these types of therapies potentially for a few months or possibly even a few years, and they don't really realize that it actually is causing some other potential issues for them with their health down the road. So we want to be thinking, what are the strategies you can put in place now from a genetic and overall health perspective that are not only going to help you now with the belly fat, the back fat, and just feeling better and more comfortable and more energetic and vital in your body, feeling like you fit into your pants, not having to buy new ones every few months as the seasons change. Of course, we all want that, and we all want that, I think, quite quickly, but we're not really thinking ahead to a long-term sustainable solution. So we've got to really look at a lifestyle strategy that is sustainable over the long term. So this is one of the best ways to do it. I've found it's yielded some of the best results with women, especially if you're a woman who has struggled with weight and weight loss resistance potentially for years now in your 40s or 50s, maybe even beyond, and you haven't had success with some of those strategies that are really bombarded to us on social media. And you may even be getting this information from practitioners as well. So if you want to reach out, if you're interested in learning more about how you could customize a strategy for optimizing your weight naturally as a female over 40, getting that waistline where you want it to be, feeling metabolically fit, strong, and energized in your body and your brain, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name's Angela. I'm a functional medicine practitioner, and I have been working in the field of women's health as a healthcare professional for 23 years now. And I have an absolute passion for helping females just like you start to uncover the root causes of your hormone imbalance symptoms so you can get to the root and really get yourself feeling better for the long term. I too, as a female, struggled with so many hormone imbalance symptoms for so many years, and I know there's a way through it. It takes work, it takes an understanding of what's going on with your health as the first steps, and then it takes putting a very specific customized strategy in place and following through with it. And then you can get yourself back to where you want to be. So I'd love to help you with that. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime. You can book a free complimentary consult by going to my website, www.angelasimpsonfunctionalmedicine.ca. I'd be happy to chat with you about your health, see if it may be a good fit for us to work together. And again, if you haven't already, please like me on my YouTube channel here, Angela Simpson Functional Medicine, and make sure you follow me on my other socials, and that includes Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, again, with that same business name. Thanks so much, ladies. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.